Can I start by thanking the hard work, around-the-clock work of Victoria Police and the Australian Federal Police that have brought us to today's declaration that the evil anti-Semitic attack on the Addis Israel Synagogue in the early hours of Friday morning has now been declared a terrorist attack. Can I also note that over the last 72 to 80 hours, police have been working around the clock, gathering the evidence, providing the information and advice that has led us to this point where this incident can now be given this formal declaration. What this means is obviously those additional powers, those additional resources can now be deployed to this investigation. An investigation I know that we all want to see resolved as quickly as possible, but we must let our police officers do the work, the good work that they have been doing to bring us to this point this morning. Can I also reinforce the point that the Chief Commissioner has made around the ongoing increased police presence in and around the communities, particularly around the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne. The increased police presence and patrols that were in place over the weekend in both in vehicles and also on foot will continue into the coming days, and the Chief Commissioner is continuing to monitor closely the ongoing need for that increased presence in the local community. Can I also say very clearly that our thoughts again today must be with the Jewish community here in Melbourne, the Jewish community around the Addis Israel Synagogue, the broader Jewish community in Melbourne and indeed across Australia. This has been an awful, evil, anti-Semitic, and now we know has been confirmed as an attack, a terrorist attack. We must remember and continue to hold the community who is grieving, who is suffering in our hearts, and give them all of our support. Certainly that is what I pledge as Premier of Victoria, to give the Jewish community our ongoing support. The practical support, the work to rebuild the synagogue, support the work of Victoria Police and the increased police presence, but also to work to provide that support to a community that is grieving. And also we'll be finding some of this news today, no doubt very, very difficult, but know that we have the resources of the AFP and VicPol to bring to this investigation and to this task. I'll now hand back to the Chief Commissioner.
So thank you. Happy to take questions.
Commissioner, what do you know about the 3 suspects at this point in time?
As I said, I'm not going to speak about any of the aspects of the investigation that are operational. We have 3 suspects involved in this attack. That is all I will say. I do not want to jeopardise the investigation by going into a blow-by-blow descriptor of what's occurred and what evidence and intelligence we've gained. So, unfortunately, whilst I understand there'll be a thirst for that information, it's not something I'm going to divulge because it would potentially prejudice the investigation.
Can you say weapons, please? At the time of the offending, were they carrying firearms?
I'm not aware of any firearms involved in this offending.
Can you say we're known to police?
I did not. I said we have 3 suspects, and that is all I'm saying at this stage in respect to the operational aspects of the investigation.
Are you able to explain why it wasn't declared a likely terrorist attack on Friday? What information didn't you have? And then just the semantic point, possibly, I noticed you said it was likely a terrorist attack, but the Premier said it was a terrorist. What's the distinction there?
First, in respect to Friday, at that stage we had a crime scene. That is what we had, and that is all we had. Based on the assessment at the time of having a crime scene, albeit in a circumstance and on a synagogue, it was not believed to be sufficient to establish a threshold for a terrorist attack to be declared. We've investigated over the weekend. We've had significant progress, as I said. We've gained intelligence and evidence, and we've then, as a result of that, formed up this morning with our partner agencies and conducted a full assessment of that evidence, which has brought us to the situation we're in now, where we are saying we are treating this as a terrorist attack.
Are there concerns that other attacks will happen at different synagogues in Melbourne that are similar to this?
We don't have any intelligence at this stage to suggest there are going to be other attacks. Of course, no one in any policing organisation anywhere in the world can ever rule anything out. All I can say is we have no intelligence or evidence to suggest any further attacks are going to occur, but nonetheless, as the Premier has stated, we have increased patrols. We have between 20 and 30 extra police officers deployed in those areas where there are high numbers of Jewish persons living and congregating. We have our public order response teams there. We have high visibility police presence. We have been tasking to those areas for many months now. We will continue to do so, and we'll continue to assess the risk and threat. But not only that, the importance of providing reassurance to the Jewish community that we are there to support and protect them.